Well, here we are at the last anime season of the year and the last anime season of the decade. So, are 2019 and the 2010s gonna finish strong? What's up, you fucking weebs? I'm Kid Yuki, and this is Top OP. There are a lot of great things about anime, but what I know is music, so let me tell you about my top 10 anime opening songs of fall 2019. You hear that, YouTube? Did that sound child-directed to you? I know you're listening! As usual, these reviews are purely my opinion, and songs will only be ranked based on the music, irrespective of my thoughts on the anime they're attached to. The first thing you notice with this new Dr. Stone OP is the energy. The drums and bass are super active. I think they kind of steal the show. The vocals are decent, not bad, but nothing to write home about. The main issues for me are with the structure and with the mix. The structure of the song seems to be instrumental intro, verse, pre-chorus, chorus, even more chorusy chorus? There's the section that comes in after what you're led to assume to be is the chorus, and this new section is catchier and feels even more chorusy than the previous section. I guess it's good because the section before, which I guess I'm now going to call the fake chorus, is kind of underwhelming. But it's just weird structurally. As far as the mix, there are several sections of this song that feel weirdly empty, and that's mainly because of how much reverb is on the guitar parts, and the fake chorus is one of those sections. Some songs can benefit from instruments just being awash with reverb, but for this kind of song you want the chorus to be punchy and in your face, and it just isn't. It's still a good song, there are just a few things holding it back from being truly great. The legends prophesied of a day when trap music would invade anime, and it seems that today is that day. It's not strictly trap, it's a little faster tempo, the kick drum is much more active and very, very loud. But it does have that sub bass and those skittering hi-hats, it's definitely trap influenced. And look, most trap music isn't my cup of tea, but I'm here for this. New genres and styles and influences entering the world of anime music is always a good thing in my book. I don't think this is a perfect execution of anime trap music, but it's a start, and it does have some good things going for it. The sparse instrumentation, the catchy vocals. This song definitely has some cool atmosphere. I wish the kick drum wasn't so fucking loud. It's so loud! How loud is it? It's so loud that Millicent Simmons from A Quiet Place asked me to turn it down. Eyo, sing, zip, boop, 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 boop. That's my time, everybody. You've been a great audience. Have a good night. Noisy, noisy, noisy. Sorry, I usually start out with the positive stuff, so, that's everything else. The drums are fun, the guitars are groovy and have a delicious funky tone. The bass is just having a blast. The vocals are pretty good too, decently catchy. The melody on the chorus could be tightened up a bit, but this is a funky adventure from front to back. I just wish it wasn't so noisy. I'm sure it's on purpose, those screechy, I don't even know what they are, synths? Guitar noise? I'm sure it's supposed to be a little eerie and off-putting, but I don't care, it's ruining my enjoyment of these tasty funk licks. Give me my funk licks! This thing would probably be in my top 5 if not for the noise, so could be better, but still really good overall. These vaguely poppy, upbeat rock songs just seem to be getting faster and faster as the years go on. Like, do you ever just stop and think about how fast Peace Sign from My Hero Academia is? Of course not, you only think about yourself. Maybe I'm just becoming an old man, but geez, Japan, where are you going in such a hurry? Pretty soon, anime rock OPs are just gonna be... like, okay, this is number 7, so I must like it. And I do. Don't I? Yes, there's a lot of cool stuff going on in here. The drums are going crazy all the time. There's a decent hook in the chorus. Actually, the vocals across the board are solid. That 3/4 pre-chorus section is pretty fun as well. I just can't shake the feeling that this song would be 2 or 3 spots higher if it were like 10 to 20 BPM slower. I don't know why this was chosen to be the optimum tempo for this song. Sometimes if I'm not ready for it, the song gets so hectic that it practically gives me anxiety. Maybe it's supposed to? Or maybe I really am an old man. So, I guess in summation, slow down, speak up, I can't hear you, and get off my damn lawn.
あの日守ると決めた約束はこの胸に
Look, there's another one! Okay, this is much more reined in on the tempo front than Phantom Joke, and you know what? It really helps. Polaris from My Hero Academia is a good song, just very solid all the way through. There's not much that's super amazing, but there's not much working against it either. Good energy, the twiddly guitar things are pretty cool, though maybe not the most engaging for a riff section. Catchy melodies and good performances across the board. Just good all the way through. Now, there are a couple things I think could help this song go from good to great. Number one, like I said, switch out that twiddly guitar riff for something more melodic. If you want to add some twiddlies in there, like some Radwimp stuff, go for it, but at this point it sounds more like a novel sound than an effective musical device. Number two, ease way up on the compression and the guitars in the chorus. They are so smushed that you can barely even tell what they're doing. You can hear the drums and the vocals clearly, which is good, but letting the guitars breathe could really help give this chorus section way more energy. But like I said, even with things the way they are, this is still a very solid song. Come on, that's a rousing melody if I've ever heard one. Stay With Me from Granblue Fantasy is a bright and grandiose blend of pop, electronic, and slightly folky sounds. The 808 kick drum mixed with the constantly strumming acoustic guitar and airy synths, it's just a really cool blend of feels. It's not particularly complex or groundbreaking, it's just fun and energetic. The vocals are catchy and the performances are strong. Also, the chorus makes me think of the Numa Numa song, which just makes me happy. This is one of those songs where I don't have any major complaints, and the only real reason it isn't higher on the list is because I just happen to enjoy the other songs more. Glitch pop in anime, hell yes. Has this been done before? At the very least, it's new to me. It's such a refreshing sound, and I think they make use of it fairly well. I guess the season has been full of refreshing sounds, so lucky me. Okay, I'm gonna get my main critique out of the way so I can get back to gushing. The verse is just okay. The melody is fine, the vocal performance could be tightened up a touch, but it works. Now, the fact that the part is broken down to just guitar and vocals is a very good idea. It gives the song a nice amount of dynamic range. But also the pre-chorus is pretty fucking cool. The melody, the chords, the rolling drum part, they all come together to give this section the feeling of something big looming on the horizon. It's a perfect transition between the soft verse and that chorus. And that chorus, God, that chorus. Maybe there are some glitch pop snobs out there who think this is some pleb shit, but I don't care. The first beat coming right out of the pre-chorus just hits so good. The chord progression and vocal melody are fine, but ultimately wouldn't be anything special if they were paired with some bog standard drum beat and poppy synth backing. But yeah, so super fun. I hear the anime sucks, but that doesn't matter here. There are a small handful of anime songs that perfectly capture the feeling of being whisked away to a fantasy world. Yume no Naka no Watashi no Yume from Humanity Has Declined has always been my favorite of these, but Mashido from Ascendance of a Bookworm is rapidly climbing the ranks. This song straddles the line between complex and accessible. The 5/8 time signature, the frequent key changes and odd slash chords, definitely some off-putting elements compared to your standard 4/4 pop music. But through it all, there's a simple and easily digestible vocal melody that I think keeps the song from getting too out there. It sort of acts as a torch, lighting the way through the twisting, turning strings and guitars. Okay, maybe that makes it sound crazier than it actually is. But then you break through into this triumphant and much more down-to-earth chorus. You got a catchy vocal melody, some horns come in to add to that triumphant feel, and the drums switch to a 4-on-the-floor beat, which by the way refers to the kick drum hitting on every beat, which I guess in this case would be 5 on the floor since it's 5/8. Also, Sumire Morohoshi's voice suits the song very well, and her performance is great. Everything is beautiful all the way through in this thing. Don't ask me why it's only at number 3. Honestly, my top 4 or so would change order several times a day as I was putting this thing together, and I had to settle on an order eventually. So, here we are. Eight-bit sounds and real instruments can go together like chocolate and peanut butter if you do it right. Anamanaguchi first made me realize this with that amazing soundtrack they made for the Scott Pilgrim video game. In fact, go listen to some Anamanaguchi real quick and then come back. They just put out an amazing album like a month ago, and more people need to hear it. Okay, so Flash definitely gives me some of those Anamanaguchi vibes, but with some other flavors added in. Maybe some school food punishment, maybe a little bit of Trico with some of the rhythmic intricacies that show up here and there. I think the main takeaway for me is that I need to listen to more Sora Tobsakana. The drums are crazy, the 8-bit and other synth sounds are super fun. Coming out of that 3-4 pre-chorus, which is also pretty cool, the chorus section slams you in the face with this wall of guitar riffs and vocal harmonies. The dynamics and use of rest in this song are absolutely impeccable. The only thing that could come close to a weak link would be in the vocals. Not the performances, those are great. Just some of the melodies could maybe be tightened up a bit, but also the lead vocal track is a little flat EQ-wise, and because of this it gets a bit lost in the verse. I suppose the vocals aren't the main focus in a song as instrumentally crazy as this, but it'd still be nice to get them to come through a little bit more clearly. But yeah, really love this song, and I hope you do too. Alright, on to number 1. Was this a left field choice after the last 3 songs? I definitely tend to lean more toward the progressive and experimental side, but even I am not immune to a song that straight up kicks as much ass as Mayday from Fire Force. Last season, a commenter asked why I didn't include the first Vinland Saga OP in my list, and part of my reasoning was that, in general, metal screaming just isn't my cup of tea. But really, the similarities between that song and this one begin and end at the screaming. I just think this is a better song overall. The riff at the beginning is so fucking powerful. It's got this pedal tone effect where one guitar is sort of droning away on a low note while the other guitar is changing chords on top of it, and I've always been a sucker for that effect. It reminds me a little bit of No More Tears by Ozzy Osbourne. But anyway, the vocal melodies are catchy and the performances are dramatic without feeling too whiny, which is one of the main things that turned me off of the first Vinland OP. The stripped back verse is a nice touch, and it leads into the pre-chorus and chorus very well. The chorus is awesome too. I appreciate how the drummer switches up the beat in the chorus to match the syncopated rhythm of the vocals. And yes, there's a big old pile of metal screaming in the pre- and post-chorus sections. Would I have possibly liked the song more without it? Probably, but everything else about the song is just too good for me to mind, and if there had to be screaming anywhere within the song, it definitely fits best over that pedal tone riff section, so fuck it, scream away. But of course, that's just my list. What did you think? Was the order all wrong? Were there some awesome songs I somehow missed out on? Be sure to let me know all your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed the video, do the usual stuff, like and subscribe. Check out some previous videos, which should be around my face right about now. My Patreon and all my other social media accounts are linked down in the doobly-doo. I've got a Discord server if you want to meet some other cool weeb friends. That's also linked down in the doobly-doo. I think that's it. I'll see you next season, next year, and next decade for another edition of Top OP. Thank you so much for watching. I've been Kid Yuki, you've been awesome, and until next time, keep anime rocking.